Okay, good morning, students. This video session, we are going to continue with what we were seeing in the last session. So, in the last session, we were trying to record what is open hashing. So, today, let us see what do we mean by closed hashing. Okay, so let me share my screen. Yeah. So already we know that open addressing is nothing but closed hashing. So in case of closed hashing, what is going to happen? Unlike this, what method we saw is separate chaining, right? Unlike separate chaining here, that means it is different from separate chaining. In this case, all the keys are going to be stored inside the hash table. That's a big difference here. No key will be stored outside the hash table. Okay. So what are the techniques which are used for open addressing? So let us see them. What are the techniques that are used? So the first technique under that is called as linear probing. The second technique under that we have quadratic probing. The third technique that we have under that is double hashing. Okay, so there are three techniques. So there are three techniques under that. One is the linear probing, then we have quadratic probing, and then we have double hashing. So these are the three techniques which come under open addressing, or which is also called as closed hashing. We have already seen what is separate chaining, or what you call it as the closed open hashing, correct? This is closed hashing. So now let us go one by one in detail. Let us see what exactly is linear probing. So in linear probing, see, this also is no kind of, we have seen that these are all coming under what? These are all coming under collision resolution technique, correct? So that way there is no change. Under collision resolution techniques, we have two different techniques: open hashing and closed hashing. Now we have seen what is open hashing. Now we are seeing what is open addressing, which is also called as closed hashing. So in this closed hashing, we have again three different techniques: linear probing, we have quadratic probing, and then we have double hashing. Okay, so under linear probing, as we all know, it is again under one of the collision resolution technique. Under linear probing, when the collision occurs, okay, when the collision occurs, we linearly probe for the next slot. That means probe means what? You go on searching, or you try to investigate, you find out. That is what you call it as probe, is it not? So we linearly probe for the next slot. That means we keep probing. That means we keep searching, or you keep finding out until an empty slot is found. What is linear search? We saw what is a linear search. That means sequentially you go on searching for the particular key element. Unless it is found, you go on searching it. Is it not? So here also linear probe means we go on searching for the empty slot. Suppose one slot. Suppose I say, let us say what do I call 11 mod 10. Okay, 11 mod 10 is 1. Now suppose that means what? In the first slot I have to store 11, correct? But one in the first slot, suppose it is already occupied, that means there is a collision. So in linear probing, what we do, we search for the next available slot. So suppose the second slot is free, then I will simply go and store that. Or if second slot is also occupied, then I go on searching for the third slot or the fourth slot. I go into the fourth slot. Suppose fourth slot is free, I will simply put it in the fourth slot. So that is what you call it as we linearly probe for the next slot. We keep probing until an empty slot is found. So this is what exactly is linear probing. Let us take a example. I will take my hash function is, let's say, k mod 7. Now these are my key elements. Let us say I take 50. I'll take the same example: 776, 85, Now you can take this any set of examples, because what is important here is we have to understand how we are trying to resolve the collision. There are different methods of resolving the collision. That is what we are trying to do. Okay, so k mod 7 is my k mod 7 is my hash function. Okay, insert the following sequence of keys in the hash table. So these are my keys which I want to insert in the hash table. Okay, by making use of what? By making use of the technique of linear probing. So how are we going to do? So when I say key mod 7, how many slots we will have in the, what will be my table size, hash table size? Hash table size is going to be, there are going to be 7 slots, correct? So let me take 7 slots here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so there are 7 slots in the hash table: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So these 6 slots are there because we are given key mod 7. Okay, and we want to place these elements into the hash table. This is my hash table. Okay, this is what I am taking. These are the slots. I am taking it as my slots in the hash table. So using linear probing, how we can try to insert or store these values inside the hash table by using this particular hash function. Okay, so now let us see, let us take one by one. Let me take first number we are given is 50. So I will start with 50 mod, I'll start with 50 mod 7. So when I take 50 mod 7, we are going to get mod 7 means it is what to say, the remainder. Okay, don't get confused with respect to quotient. It is not quotient, but it is remainder. So 50 mod 7 is going to give you 1. So in the first slot I will store 50. All right, next I have 700. 700 mod 7. Okay, so 700 mod 7 is going to give me what? It is going to give me 0. So in the 0th slot I will store 700. All right, next I have 76 mod 7. 76 mod 7 is what? 6. Okay, so in the 6th slot I will be storing 76. Right, next I have what, next I have 85. 85 mod 7. So what is 85 mod 7? 85 mod 7 is going to be 1, right? So in the first slot, if you observe here, now you observe carefully. 85 mod 7 is giving you 1, correct? 50 mod 7 is also 1. So in the first slot, we have already stored 50. Now I cannot store 50 in the first slot. 85 mod 7 is also giving me 1. So where can I store this 85? I've already stored 50 in the first slot. So there is a collision for the slot 1. So 85 I'll have to store it somewhere. Where to store? What did we say? In case of linear probing, what will happen? We linearly probe for the next slot. That means we keep probing until an empty slot is found. All right. Now, first slot 50 is already occupied by 50. So I can't store this 85 in slot 1. So I will go on linearly now checking for an empty slot. If I leave out this, which is the next empty slot that I have, 2. 2 is empty as of now. So I will simply store this 85 in 2. That's all. That is why you call it as linear probing. All right. So next, let us take up the next number. The next number is 92. So 92 mod 7. 92 mod 7 is what? 1. Okay. Now, again, you have a collision here. 50 mod 7 was 1, right? So you already first come first served, 50 took the first slot. Then we got 85 mod 7, which is also 1, but you cannot store there because it is already occupied by 50. So we searched for the next empty slot, which was 2. So we stored 85 there. Next, 92 mod 7 is also 1. Now 1 is occupied. So I have to find the next empty slot in a linear fashion. Okay. So where one is not one I cannot store there in 1. So I go for the next empty slot. 2, is it empty? That is also not empty because it is already occupied by 85. Coming to 3. 3 is empty now. So what I will do? I will simply store this 92 at the location 3. That is what you call it as linear probing. Linearly, we probe for the next slot. We keep probing until an empty slot is found. Okay. Next, let us see what is the number. 73 we have. So the next number is 73. So we go for 73 mod 7. So 73 mod 7 will give you 3. Okay. Now if you observe, 73 mod 7 is 3. If you observe here, third slot is already occupied by 92. Okay, are you observing here? Third slot wherein we have to store the 73. We can't store 73 anymore there. Why? Because it is already occupied by 92. So according to this linear probing technique, what you should do? We have to find the next empty slot. Okay. So third slot is booked. Which is the next empty slot? Next empty slot I have is 4. 4 is empty. So I will simply store this 73 there. Okay. So that is how I do it. Next, I have 101. The next number that I have is 101. So 101 mod 7. So 101 mod 7 will be giving you what number? 101 mod 7 is also 3. Alright. So if you observe here, look at this part. 101 mod 7 is 3. Now if you look at the third position is already occupied by 92. Alright. So you cannot store it in the third slot. So we find out the next empty slot. Next slot is what? 4. 4 is also occupied. So you can't store there also. Next empty slot is what? 5. 5 is still empty. So I will simply store 5 in the I will simply store 101 in the fifth slot. So this is how I try to store the numbers. In case of, I told you that in case of open addressing, all the keys are stored inside the hash table. So this is my hash table. We are storing everything inside this only. We are not creating any linked list as we did in the open hashing. Correct? Open hashing means what? We were trying to store certain keys outside the hash table also. That's why we said unlike separate chaining. That means this closed chaining is completely different from open hashing. Closed hashing is different from open hashing. That means in closed hashing, we are going to store all the keys inside the hash table. So under open hashing, closed hashing, we have 3 different methods: linear probing, quadratic probing, and double hashing. In linear probing, what we do? We linearly search or find out for the next slot. We keep on searching or probing or finding until an empty slot is found. Wherever an empty slot is found, simply put this particular number into that location. Alright, let me summarize this. So I took the hash function as key mod 7. These are my key values that I have taken. So when I take this part, what will happen? These are the key values that I have taken. My hashing function is key mod 7. So I'll have to apply each of these key values, each of these numbers on the hashing function. So in that case, what I will get? First number if I take, I have 50 mod 7. 50 mod 7 will give you 1. So in the first location, you are going to store 50, which we have done here. The second number is what? 700. So second is 700 mod 7. 700 mod 7 is 0. So in the 0th location, you are storing 500. Next we are getting what? 76 mod 7. 76 mod 7 is 6. So we are storing in the sixth location, we are going to store 76. Alright. Then we have 85 mod 7. When we come to is 85 mod 7, we are getting 1. But in the first slot, we already have this 50 which is stored in the first slot. So what we will do? You have to find the next empty slot. Go on searching until you get the next empty slot. So the next empty slot in that case will be 85. Sorry, second. So in the second position, you are going to store this 85. Next we have 92. 92 mod 7 is 1 again. So first location is already filled. You can't store there. Second is already filled. You can't store there. Come to the third position. Third position is empty. So you place the 92 in the third position. Take the next number, that is 73. When you come to 73 mod 7, what will happen? You are getting 73 mod 7 is 3. Are you seeing here? 73 mod 7 is 3. So in the third location, we have 92 already stored. So find the next empty location. Next empty location is what? 4. 4 is empty. So I will store the 73 in the location 4. Next is 101. When I take 101 mod 7, I am getting 3. So what will happen here in this case? 3 is already occupied. Correct? So 3 is already occupied by 92. Search for the next empty slot. 4 is occupied. It is not empty. Right? 5 is empty. So I will store 101 in fifth location. This is what you call it as linear probing. I hope I am clear. Let us take up one more example. Okay. I'll take one more example for linear probing. Let me take the same example what we had done previously. Okay. So that's why I said the same example you can consider, but you can do the collision resolution using any of the techniques for the same set of numbers. All right. So 83, 56, 33, 9, 16, 10. 20, 11, 23, 85, 83, 56, 33, 9, 16 and 10. Okay. Let me consider my hash function as h of k is equal to k mod m. So m is going to be equal to 10. Right. So I am taking k mod m, that is k mod m means k mod 10. M is going to be 10. Now, so my hash table is going to contain how many locations? It is going to contain 10 locations, right? So let me take up the 10 locations here like this, as usual, 0, and then I have 1. This makes it easy for us to put in the numbers. 3, okay. So 0 to 9, we have 10 locations. Let us see each one where we can store it. Let's start with 20. 20 mod 10. So 20 mod 10 is going to be 0. We have to take the reminder. Just remember that. So in the 0th location, I will put my 20. No issues at all. Next, I take 11 mod, 11 mod 10. So 11 mod 10 will give us 1. Correct? So 1 means in the first location, I can store 11. Next, I have 23. 23 mod 10 is going to be 3. Correct? So in the third location, I can store this 23, no issues. Next, I have 85. Next, 85 mod 10 85 mod 10 is what? 5, right? So in the fifth location, I will store 85. Okay, no issues. Next is 83. When I come to 83, look here, 83 mod 10 is 3, right? But third location is already occupied. 83 mod 10 is 3, which means in the third location I have to store 83. But since we had 23 mod 10 as 3, in the third location we have already stored this 23. So I can't store in the third location 83 now. What do I do in case of linear probing? I go on searching until I find a empty location. So whichever is my next empty slot, I will just store this number there. All right. So 3 is occupied. I can't store. Next is 4. 4 is empty. Correct. So I will simply store this 83 in the location 4. All right. Next we'll take 56. 56 mod 10 is equal to 6. So 6 means in the sixth location is free. So there is no problem. I can simply store this 56 in the sixth location. Next I have 33. 33 mod 10 is equal to 3 again. Okay. Now you observe. Now you observe 3. 33 mod 10 is 3. Correct? Now third location is already occupied. So I can't store. I have to find the next available slot. Fourth, is it available? It's not available. Fifth, is it available? Not available. Eighth, is it available? Sorry. Fifth, is it available? Not, it's occupied. Sixth is occupied. I'll come to seventh. Seventh is empty. Correct? So I'll simply store 33 in the seventh location. I hope I'm clear. See, we got, I'll repeat, 33 mod 10, we got 3. Correct? 3 is occupied. So I have to find the next empty slot. 4 is not empty. 5 is not empty. 6 is not empty. 7 is empty. So since 7 is empty, I am storing this 33 in the 7th location. Next is 9. 9 mod 10 is going to be 9, right? So no issues. Ninth slot is empty, so I can simply store 9 there. All right. Next I have 16. 16 mod 10 is going to be 6. Correct? So if you observe here, 16 mod 10 is 6. So come to sixth location. Sixth location is already occupied. So I can't store there. I have to find the next available slot. Seventh is already occupied. I can't store there. Eighth slot. Eighth slot is empty. So what can I do? I can simply store this 16 in the eighth slot. All right. Next number we have is 10. 10 mod 10. 10 mod 10 is 0. Correct? So 0th location is already occupied. I can't store here anything only. So next slot, next available slot I should find out. So if I try to find out next available slot, one slot is, first slot already occupied, second slot is empty. So I will put my 10 in the second slot. So this is how I try to do a linear probing, one of the collision resolution technique under closed hashing. I hope I am clear to you all on this. Okay. All right. The next method, which is called as, I think, quadratic probing, right? The next method is quadratic probing. I will try to take it up in the next session. All right. So I'll end my session here. I will see you all in the next session. Thank you.